Let's talk about Hurricane Melissa, um, and other hurricanes. You say that they are a product or they are intensified because of climate engineering.
Yes, without question. So again, the spawning of those storms, we are not drawing any conclusions on. We have oceans that are superheating. They're certainly capable of spawning these rotations. The climate engineers can help augment that by manipulation of atmospheric pressure zones. But regardless of the source of the spawning of these storms, they're positively being manipulated. So what do we have happen? Let's start with the US this year. It was predicted to have a very above normal hurricane season. Total bust. We're at the end of the hurricane season. Nothing hit the US, nothing. They were all deflected along the same path out into the Atlantic. Again, atmospheric pressure zones can and have done that. Well, why is that benevolent? Everybody jumps up and down. That's great. They deflected the hurricanes. But what was their real motive? People are waking up to what's being done to them. And it is our feeling at geoengineeringwatch.org that those in power do not want any more attention on this issue here in the States. So they've kept it more calm here of late. And people tend to forget immediately. If something's not kicking down the front door, they forget about it and move on, just like they've done with CV-19, 9/11. So they've kept it calm here. So what happened in the case of Hurricane Melissa, which meandered around over very warm waters for a very long time. Then it makes a 90-degree turn and heads straight into Jamaica.
Mhm.
Now, what's significant about Jamaica? We have an administration that is desperate to find rare earth minerals. And this is no secret. They're seeking that in countries all over the world. Lots of media coverage. Recent rare earth mineral discoveries in, surprise, Jamaica.
Mm.
And there is recorded friction between this administration and Jamaica and Tobago because they weren't willing to just cough up these deposits. So with Melissa, we're told that was a 185 mile an hour sustained windstorm. And the images were so perfectly symmetrical. It made a deep impression on people that at that wind speed, that's equivalent to a category 6 hurricane. If that was really what we were told it was, that would have cut a swath across Jamaica and wiped the slate clean. It didn't do that. In fact, we have all the initial terms being used for the storm as being absolutely catastrophic. After the storm, we saw terms for the damage like extensive, which is very different from catastrophic. And yes, it blew down a lot of wooden shacks with tin roofs. It did not wipe the slate clean. It was nothing compared to Hurricane Otis, which annihilated Acapulco, a storm that blew up from an insignificant tropical depression to the strongest Cat 5 hurricane to ever hit that part of the world in less than a day. If you haven't seen pictures of Acapulco after Otis hit 2 years ago, you need to look at it. It looks like a post-apocalyptic movie. Didn't see that in Jamaica. So was there a last-minute dialing down of the intensity that was not disclosed or detected by any of the meteorological community? Are they manipulating weather data loop images? And they certainly can do that to make this look stronger than it was. And we've seen this with other storms in the past. Hurricane Hillary in Southern California was touted as some major event. It was nothing. So again, were there behind closed doors closed doors agendas being fulfilled with this? Is Jamaica now going to cooperate with the powers that be for their rare earth minerals? Whatever else is going on, something's very wrong with that entire situation. And then, of course, it hit Cuba, and we all know that that's always a target in Cuba, but then deflected out again into the Atlantic, the same as the previous storms. And the fact that these hurricanes are being manipulated, again, inarguable. If your listeners search geoengineeringwatch.org hurricanes, we recorded Harvey, Ian, Michael, Maria, and you can see the frequency transmissions that have a repelling effect. Again, these are patented processes. The science isn't disputed. The transmissions with this repelling effect can push that storm in certain directions. Or in the case of the Texas floods, Kim, the kids that were all just killed in the camp, you know that, we recorded that as well. And so we had people claiming that it was some localized weather modification that did that. You remember that? They blamed Rainmaker,
Yeah, yeah.
the 25-year-old kid, Augustus Tarico, and that had, I have no love for him or his his profession. But what caused that to happen in Texas was the NextRad network of climate engineering transmitters corralled that storm. When you energize these transmitters on every side of that storm, you prevent it from moving anywhere, and it precipitates out in one place. And that's exactly what happened in that event also.
So are you saying with the hurricanes specifically that we had a mild hurricane season because they were actually manipulating the hurricanes and manipulating them to go out to sea and
There's no
stay out
question.
at sea?
There's no
Okay.
question. And again, HARP in Alaska is a weapon of mass destruction. That's an ionosphere heater. There's about 100 around the globe, not like HARP. HARP is the biggest, but there are many different types of facilities, different designs, different capabilities. So HARP can transmit 3.6 million watts of power into the electrically charged ionosphere. That causes an electrical chain reaction. Again, none of the science is disputed. That causes the atmosphere to expand up and down. The downward push creates a high pressure zone, which steers upper level wind currents, which steers weather systems. This is a 2 + 2 + 2 = 6 equation. There's zero question they're manipulating this. But again, people have been so well trained and programmed to deny what they don't want to believe that, how much proof do we need on this scenario? Again, I'm surprised we have access to the data loops that show us the frequency transmissions that are manipulating these storms, but those in power seem to be, they have some twisted protocols. They want to leave a trail of breadcrumbs that would have disclosed this to anybody who wanted the truth, and then they seem to feel justified about whatever they do.
Thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show, which you can catch Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. It is free for you to watch. Again, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, KimIversonShow.com. See you there.